Today is the day that I'm going to solve a travel problem I have here on the rather strange and experimental airbag / torsion bar combination suspension setup I have right here. That's quite a sentence, eh? So maybe we should start by me just attempting to explain how this whole setup works before we do anything else, just in case that you're not familiar with it. So this is the standard Isuzu torsion bar front suspension. You get these type of front suspension on many of the 1-ton pickups or bakkies as we call them. Very common. Now you'll see that bottom right there, that bottom wishbone. If you look carefully, you'll see the torsion bar right there. So that has got a spline or a set of splines, and it sticks into that wishbone, and it's just firmly connected there, and then it runs backwards. The back end of the torsion bar is held firmly captive right here. So now as the wishbone moves up and down, it's trying to rotate the torsion bar. The back end is held captive, so it can't rotate, and then because this is made of spring steel, that twist that you have is actually what's providing the spring of the suspension, if I can put it like that. So now if you think about it, if you can rotate the torsion bar, you'll be able to adjust the ride height of the vehicle. And in fact, on the stock setup, they do have a lever here with a bolt, so that you can actually adjust the ride height of the vehicle by changing the position of this captive part a little bit. So what I've done now is I've removed that captive part and I've extended the torsion bar through a bushing in there, so now it can rotate freely. And then the extended torsion bar runs all the way to the back. Right there I've got another bushing so that it can also rotate there. And then we have a lever here, and then the airbag can push the lever to rotate the torsion bar and change the vehicle's ride height. Let me just add this. That there is still the original solid spring steel torsion bar. But this piece right here, that is heavy wall steel pipe. And I connected it to the torsion bar itself by welding in that spline section to the inside of the pipe where it connects there. So this can't rotate, or I mean it doesn't have any spring steel action. That part still does. So now think about this. The frame is essentially lying on the ground. Everything here is relaxed. There's no tension in that torsion bar whatsoever. Now if I start rotating it, nothing's actually going to happen for a while. I need to overcome the weight of the vehicle, and therefore I need to create a certain amount of, shall we call it, pretension. There's a certain amount of rotation required to make up for the weight of the vehicle before the frame will start lifting. And that is exactly my problem. This lever at this point needs to move close to 5 inches to overcome the weight of the vehicle and create that pretension before we start lifting. And my bag only has about 8 inches of travel maximum. So yes, I'm losing close to 5 inches of travel here while nothing is happening. So let's make this real so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to give the bag some air here. Yes, only at about that point do we overcome the weight of the car and the front end starts lifting. So I lose a lot of travel for that purpose, and I haven't got enough left to give me the ride height I want for when I'm driving the vehicle. So, thinking about this, if I have more travel, it will solve my problem. But that's not an option. I would need to have some tension in that torsion bar, even when the truck is fully slammed. But that would mean that this lever will move further that way, and I can't have that because I do need a certain amount of space here for the airbag to fit, and this is about it. I can't have it sitting further that way. So my thoughts are to create a stop here to prevent this arm from moving further that way, to give enough space for the airbag to still fit. And then I can jack up the vehicle, take out those splines and move them a little bit, and have some tension in the setup with this arm resting against the stop. Now, if that doesn't make sense to you right now, bear with me. I don't know how else to explain it at this point in time. So the first thing I think I'm going to do is to build the stop that I have in my head, fit it here, and then we can take it from there. Some of you will know I like my templates, so I want to create this bracket with a piece of flat bar. It will run like this, and then I want to fit a bolt right there to give me a little bit of adjustment. So if I can fabricate a flat bar piece in this shape, the hole here, nut welded on, with a lock nut as well to give me a little bit of adjustment, then I can keep this exactly where it is, because this is as much as the airbag can compress. So we do not want this lever to be able to move further that way. I like this. Yes, I can weld that on. Now this stop is actually not going to be part of the functioning suspension system, if I can put it like that. It's only going to come into play when the vehicle is slammed and at rest. So it doesn't have to be super strong, but I might still give it a web here, and same on this side. Let's see. Yeah, it's probably a good idea to get the airbag out of the picture with all the welding that I'm planning to do here. So Mr. McCready's task for the day is to fit a new automatic transmission to Stefan's Cortina bakkie. Are you having fun yet?
Awesome.
Hey?
Lying on your back and working, Moss.
Yeah. Why don't you buy us a 2-post car lift?
I think I should, yes.
That would be fun, eh?
Okay, in the near future.
Okay, so thank you very much, sir. It's on record now, eh?
Yes.
What year is this bakkie again?
Man, he says it's I'm not sure, but I think it's a 82 or 81.
82, 81. Okay.
If I look at it, because it's different to mine. Mine's a 83.
Oh, really, eh?
Yeah, the handbrake is different, and
okay.
It's got a few odds.
So why did he want the auto transmission in here? He says his left leg or something is not good anymore.
Oh no, his knees are giving in.
Knees are giving in, eh?
Yes.
The pleasures of old age.
That's it, exactly that.
It's not for sissies, eh?
No, I'm beginning to find that out too.
Ach, what are you now, man? You're still wet behind the ears, man.
Hey, I'm not too far off, eh?
So yeah, Stefan's Cortina bakkie, it's ass in the air, and Wayne is having fun under there, and I plot along with my stuff. And occasionally he calls me to hold things.
Yes. Much to your dismay.
It's not that bad.
Oh no, we did good together.
Well, I might as well get this out of the way for better access. Come on. There we go. Right, so I've got reference marks and clamps and magnets to hold it exactly where I want it. Now I can weld it on. Okay, so I've got the stop in place with adjustment. Now this space that we have here, that is what is required for when the bag is fully compressed. It can't be any less. And now the stop will prevent the arm from moving any further that way to, yeah, we don't want to compress the bag any more than what we've got there. We've got a jack under the front of the car, so I'm going to lift it and you'll see the same action that we will get when the bag inflates. You see how that arm is moving. This is where the arm sits with the front end fully jacked up, wheels are off the ground. So now my plan now is to pull the splines, or pull the torsion bar out of the splines and then move it this way 2 or 3 teeth. So let's see what we get. I have to take off this bushing right here, because apart from allowing the arm to rotate, it also prevents backwards movement. So I have to get it out of the way. There we go. That's what it looks like at the moment. A little bit rusty. Yeah, to get a grease nipple there at some point.
Much later.
Well, no, that certainly was not my plan. Now the whole freaking thing is lying here on the floor. I was struggling with the splines. They did not want to pull out easily. And then I ended up ripping out the whole thing so I could clean up the splines to make adjustment easier. So there you can see the torsion bar splined on each end. This here is the extension part. There's my lever. And well, now that it is lying here on the floor, let me show you what's going on there and there. So you can see this better now. There's a pin here, and then this bushing slips over there like that to allow rotation, but it also prevents this whole business from moving backwards. So this bolts to the frame, and like I said earlier, I've got the facility there for a grease nipple, so we can keep it greased. So let me just shine a light here so you can see here on this side of that extension piece, I've got that spline insert welded in there. This will take the torsion bar, the one side of it. Let's see now that I've oiled it up a bit and cleaned it. Yes, now it fits properly. Easy to adjust. Then I have another bushing right here on the back part of the torsion bar. So that will allow rotation. And this also bolts to the frame. But I had to make a split bushing here. So it splits. It's the only way that you can fit it to the torsion bar and make this whole contraption removable. And then in there we will also put a grease nipple to keep it lubricated. And then the front splines on the torsion bar goes in right there. This is the bottom wishbone. Okay, well, it's not really a wishbone, but you know what I'm saying. So the front splines on the torsion bar goes in right there. Let's line it up. There we go. We've got this bushing back into place. So the torsion bar goes through it and it can rotate freely. Back end splines of that torsion bar then goes into the extension piece. It's underneath this cross member, so you can't see it. So I turned this one 2 teeth. I haven't adjusted that side yet. Now there's a difference in these distances between the two of roughly 100 millimeters, 4 inches. So I think that'll do the trick. We're going to find out. If not, we'll have to come back to the whole business and adjust it again. And then I moved this torsion bar the same number of teeth. So now I've got them the same on both sides. I still have the wheels off the ground. So there's currently no load on the torsion bars. So now I'm going to lower it so we can see what happens. Let's lower it slowly. until the arms just come in contact with the stop, which is that position right there. So at this point the front is still jacked way up, and it can certainly drop down a lot more. So now if we just look at the arm again right there in the back. So when I drop the front now, the arm wants to move in, but now of course our stop prevents that. So what's going to happen is that we're actually going to set up like a pre-tension or a preload in the torsion bars. So let's drop it down all the way and see what happens. Alright, so the jack is out. Those torsion bars are preloaded now. And she's not down all the way she was before I did all of this. Have a look here. We've got some suspension movement now. Oh, never mind the squeaker uppers. I'm planning to rebuild this front suspension when we finish with all of this fabrication and planning. So yeah, we need to go down maybe another 1.5 to 2 inches to get back to the fully slammed position. But if you now think about it, I've still got to add the weight of the cab and the grill shell and the radiator and front fenders and all of that stuff. So that's going to make a difference. I mean, let's just see with my skinny ass, if I stand here, you can see that already makes a difference, and I only weigh about 75 kilos. So, I don't know. I think once all the body weight is in place, it should go right back down to the fully slammed position. Yeah, I think I'm going to settle with this. If everything is in place and it still doesn't work out perfectly, well, I can adjust those torsion bars again and fine-tune it a little bit more, but I think we're going to be good. There's one more thing I want to do here before fitting the airbags again. When the bags are inflated, essentially the whole front weight of the car is bearing against these two plates. Half this side here and half here. So now what are the chances of these things bending? Probably 0. But I don't know, maybe this is over engineering. I want to fit this bit of pipe in here just to provide extra bracing. Yeah, nothing to lose by putting it in. So I'm going to do that. Only reason why it's curved is for aesthetic reasons. And I guess it does serve a little function in that you can get your hand in here easier for messing with the pipes and the bolts and whatnot. Yes, man, that makes it bulletproof, my bro. Oh, bro is the South African version of bro or brother. So I've got the sculpty look that I want, because all of this is going to be completely visible when the truck is finally assembled. So I want it to look nice, man. And on that note, yes, I'm going to disassemble all of this and probably sandblast it and then paint it nicely so that it's gonna look good. Let's get the bags in here for one final test. So I've just first got to fit this little gizmo. Pin goes through there. There we go. And now this here, this is a mock-up that I made quite some time ago. It's a mock-up of a fully compressed airbag. So we don't want to have it compressed more than that. So I'm going to stick that in here. And then I can just set up with my adjustable stop the absolute maximum that the arm can move that way, so that we don't compress the bag any more than that. So I can fine tune this now. I can just turn this bolt in. So that will move the arm that way, and I can just adjust it and fine tune it until my span here just touches the mock-up airbag. A little bit more. A little bit more. Yeah, I think we're good. So now it's just touching. So now we cannot compress that back anymore. So yeah, that's good. I'm happy. Now I can get the bag in here, and we can try this whole contraption, hopefully, one last time. Just got to get the bolts in and line up these holes. Yes.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Right, so after struggling with the bolts first, because it can never be just easy, I've got the bags fitted again. Airlines are connected. Let's see. I'm first going to raise the back end. Now let's try the front. Oh yes, now we've got travel. Awesome. Let's do it again. Bag is fully deflated. I'm going to give it some air. Yes man, you can see that it starts lifting pretty much as soon as the bag starts inflating. Got lots of travel now. We'll take this thing off-road. For the benefit of those who have not followed this build from the beginning, this manual air control system of mine will eventually mount inside the cab. Just got it sitting here for now to do testing and so on. So if I essentially got 4 levers, one for each bag, 1 and 2 in the front, 2 in the back, obviously. If I pull these two together, I will raise the front. If I pull these together, that will lift the rear. Let's do it. As you can see, the two on this side is to deflate the bags. Just lift the back again. And then these two, that's for raising the front. And lastly, these two for deflating the front. So my plan is to actually mount the pressure gauge for each lever so that I could actually adjust just one bag if I want and monitor the pressures. So I could just adjust one bag, or I grab both levers to do both at the same time. If you want to see how I built this contraption, link here on the screen. Suspension travel problem solved. Mission accomplished. I'll see you folks next week. Until then, as always, have a lucky one, my bro.
Whatever makes you happy, it just depends on you. So think